Hi guys, welcome to today's reading. Today we're going to be answering the question, are you on their mind? So are they thinking of you? Are they dreaming of you? Are you occupying their thoughts? We're going to get into all of it. And today we have a delicious looking selection of cupcakes for you guys to choose from. So if you are new to this channel, welcome. I'm so happy to have you here. And basically you're going to see which of these cupcakes is really sticking out to you, calling your name, calling your attention in towards it. Then once you pick the cupcake that is right for you, scroll down to the timestamps in the comments and the description to jump into the pile that is yours, and that will be the pile with the message for you according to whichever cupcake you picked. Also, I want to mention to you guys that I do have a Patreon. If you like how I read tarot, that's where you can head to see more of my content. I just posted one all about what you're destined to have in this lifetime. And before that, an early dating and relationship reading. So early love, someone you just started dating, that's a great one to watch if you want some clarity on what they're feeling for you earlier on in the relationship. But as soon as you sign up for my Patreon, you'll get access to about 65 additional readings over all different kinds of topics, and new ones get added all the time. You guys suggest and vote on new ones for the Patreon. So if you would like to sign up and join our little community on Patreon, head to the link underneath the timestamps in the comments in the description, and I'd love to see you there. Also, if you would like to get a private one-on-one reading with me, you can also get that at my website, briarrosetarot.com. You can sign up for a half hour or a full hour-long session with me, have me pull tarot for you, read your astrology, channel for you, mediumship-wise or intuitively. And you can sign up for that, like I said, at my website, briarrosetarot.com. I would love to do a reading for you, and the link is in my description for that as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. So now if you need more time to decide, you can totally feel free to rewind, pause, and take as much time as you need. But we're going to go ahead and jump into pile one. Hey pile one, welcome to your reading. Let's shuffle some cards and see whether you're on your person's mind or not. Spirit is pile one on their person's mind. Rock bottom. So this person may be going through it, and I would say that's a yes right off the bat. They may really be missing you, and I'm hearing or feeling that this person may have tried to put this in their past. It's something that this person honestly has caused them a great deal of pain. It's something that this person has tried to run away from many times. Something that this person, if they could snap their fingers and like stop thinking of you, they would. It's like in the movie The Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, how they have that like memory erase tool, and they go back and erase all the memories from the relationship because he's in so much pain. He pays them to do this procedure and erase all the memories of his ex-girlfriend. That's what's coming to mind. I feel like if this person could do that, they would. They may have even watched that movie and thought that, So yes, I would say you are on their mind, but not in a happy way, not in a way where they're like, oh, I love such great memories and it's so nice and fun to think of pile one, and we had such a great time together and I wish them the best. It's not like that kind of a memory. It's painful, it's hard, it's sad for them. It's demoralizing. I do feel like this person gets depressed about it. They may literally struggle with like depression or something because of this. And honestly, pointlessness with life. It may be something where they're like, is there even a purpose? Is there even a reason to keep going on? I know that's really heavy to talk about. And so, yeah, but I just feel like this person truly has, it is like this little plague on their life, or this little gnat buzzing around behind in their back of their mind, constantly this little source of pain for them. You know what I mean? That has genuinely, I think, caused them trouble. And I feel like in a way, it's like this person is sleepwalking or just going through the motions of life, just trying to block out and pretend that they don't feel this way, just trying to run away from how overwhelming it is and distract themselves in whatever way they can. Let me get some more cards. Gentle Gardener. I'm hearing this person say, if I could redo it, if I had a chance, I would redo so many things. That's what's coming to my mind with that gentle gardener. I feel like this person, it's almost like they wish they had been gentler. If there was ever a time when they like lost their temper with you, or they got really mad, or they did something kind of stupid and reckless and impulsive with you, I feel like that's something that they regret. I feel like if they had the chance to go back in time, they would not act that same way. They would have kept their composure and been a lot more gentle and kind with you. But it's almost like in the moment, I want to say this person was, one, scared of their feelings for you, and two, I feel like they kind of took you for granted a little bit. Like, I feel like even though they knew they had feelings for you at the time, they didn't know how intensely they were going to feel, as things wore on. They didn't know that it was going to last this long or be this strong, even if you're still dealing with this person. Which I don't know, because they're pretty sad. So I don't know if you're still dealing with them. I don't know if you guys got in a fight or an argument or something, but I feel like with this person, if they could have known how long they would think of you and how intense their feelings would be and how overwhelming it would be for them, I don't think that they would have acted that way. I think they would have kept it a lot more, they would have, what I'm seeing is the image of like a little crystal vase or a little crystal knickknack. I'm thinking of my grandmother. She collected all these little beautiful crystal animals and little, like a little jade pear, and she had lots of little things like that. And I'm just seeing someone smashing that on the ground. I don't know what they're called, knickknacks, whatever, figurines, but it's like a beautiful, fragile, precious ornament that should be, put on a nice little table or on a mantelpiece or something and looked at and cherished. And I'm seeing someone just smash it. And I feel like for you guys, this person, it's like, I think in a way they thought they could run away. I think they thought that they could just blot you out and kind of clean up again after you and just like throw away this, whatever. But it has stayed with them for a really, really long time. And I think that this person does have regrets and does replay your time together and think about like, oh, well, if I could do this again, I would have acted this way, I would have acted that way, I would have handled it this way, I would have said that, I would have told them this. And they wouldn't have been so harsh. They wouldn't have been, rude. I feel like they would have really like been on their best behavior. So let me get some song cards because I love those. Even though sometimes I've had people complain and say they don't like the song cards. I'm like, too bad. We're doing them anyway because I like the song cards. Okay, let me get some songs. And they help me. I mean, I get a lot from these song cards, like a tarot card or an oracle card. Okay, so we got Real Love, Carly Rae Jepsen. Yes, and I think that's the thing that this person questioned. Like, I feel like for a long time, this person was like, oh, it's just another, it's, yeah, I like them. It's a crush. It's like, I feel something for them. I'm attracted to them and, I'd like to date them, but like, it's not that serious. It's not that heavy. It's whatever. It's like normal to feel this way about someone you're dating. And I feel like it's taken a while for this person to admit, like, no, that was the real thing. And you kind of missed the boat. I'm seeing someone like running after a bus as it's pulling away from the station, and like that sinking feeling, if that's ever happened to you, in the pit of your stomach where you're like, oh, I missed it. And I feel like that's how this person feels. They're like, I can't believe I missed my bus. I can't believe that I didn't take this seriously in the moment when I should have appreciated it, when I should have been on my A game, when I should have been doing everything in my power to preserve this. I just let the bus pull away. Oh my God. And as I'm saying that, I pull my favorite mistake, Sheryl Crow. Exactly. Like, this person realizes now that how they acted was a mistake. And I just heard also that this person gets a kick out of you. Like, I'm seeing someone laugh. I'm seeing someone just chuckle. We also got Ape. I can't say the whole name of this song. I should probably just throw away this card because I can never actually read it unless I'm on Patreon. But I don't want to curse on YouTube. I don't know the rules. I'm just like scared of violating any of the YouTube rules. So I never curse, even though I think I maybe could. But anyway, it's Ape by Beyonce and Jay-Z. But I am seeing, what I was seeing in my mind is someone like laughing or grinning, or someone smile. I'm hearing that line from Taylor Swift where she says, and you tilt your head back laughing like a little kid. I feel like they think about those moments with you, like times when you were happy with them, times when you were joyful with them, times when, you guys were, things were good. And there's something about you that's kind of funny to them. Like, I don't know what this is, but you know how when you have, like, when you actually really love someone, I think one of the funniest things that happens is you start to be amused by them, or at least that's how it works for me. Like, some of my favorite memories with everyone I love, be they friends or family members, are like when they're being goofy or the stupid things they do, like the fact that they walk a certain way and they look like clumsy, or the way they always make a certain mistake when it comes to like saying a word a certain way. And like, you know how like you'll clown your siblings on that and you'll be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you did that. You're so stupid." But it's like fondly, like you love that about them. You love that they like get really hyper after they have any caffeine. And even if it kind of annoys you, it's something that you think of, like, and it makes you smile. And I feel like that's how this person is thinking of you. Let me get some more songs. Shades of Cool, Lana Del Rey. I also feel like this person thinks of you as cool. And, it's like, I also feel like, with that song, that's showing them at the Louvre and running around doing all these cool things and like very high tier, like music video and just lifestyle described in that song, And I feel like with this person, it's like for them, they kind of are like, I really should have brought my A game. I really should have, I like pile one deserved more. Pile one deserved so much from me, and I kind of took them for granted. Like, I feel like there was something about you being like, I'm walking away from this because I deserve more from you, or because I deserve someone who is going to bring everything they have and be amazing. Digital Love, Daft Punk. So I feel like with this person, there's a lot of regret about like, how did I take pile one for granted? How did I just think of them as like, not that this person ever thought of you as mid or anything like that, but I don't feel like they fully allowed themselves to acknowledge how precious you were, how special you were, and how upset they would be if they ever lost you. So they kind of just brushed that under the rug and acted like, I don't really care. And I think they truly believed that. It wasn't just an act. They were like, yeah, like, there's lots of girls in the sea, or there's lots of dudes in the sea. And now they're like, oh my God, okay, I really messed that up. We also got Someday by The Strokes, and like I said, Digital Love, Daft Punk. So yeah, with Someday, this person may definitely have the desire to come back to you. I love The Strokes, by the way. I don't know if anyone else likes The Strokes, but if you do, you're probably really cool, just like me. But anyway, that's why I kind of snuck in Someday, even though the Strokes don't really have a ton of romantic songs. But anyway, so with Someday, they may hope that they can come back to you one day. They may have this desire to patch things up in the future, to text you, to DM you. And that may be something like in the back of their mind where like they always have this idea of like, okay, maybe one day we'll run into each other. Maybe someday we will, be at the same coffee shop at the same time, or they'll DM me, or they'll message me, or they'll call me, and then we'll, have a moment. I feel like that's kind of like this carrot on a stick that this person thinks about, this kind of, I'm gonna cleanse these cards, sorry, but I just had to do that really quick. But yeah, I think this person constantly thinks about that, constantly thinks about what it would be like if you guys could meet up again, being able to see you again, what they would say, how they would act different, all of that. And they also may be lurking your social media with Digital Love. They may be like paying attention to you on Instagram or TikTok or wherever you guys post. They definitely may be lurking your socials and trying to see everything you guys are doing. Okay, so I had to fix this little space because it got super disorganized and all the things went flying. But let me get into some tarot for pile number one. Is pile number one on their person's mind? Five of Pentacles coming out over the rock bottom card. I mean, this person is going through it. I would definitely say you're on their mind. I would definitely say they think of you, and they're not having a super great time. They are not having, rock bottom and the Five of Pentacles, like kind of the same card. One's in tarot, one's in this oracle deck, but I mean, yeah, very similar meaning. So I feel like with this person, they are having a rough time. And Venus is in retrograde depending on when you watch this, but at the time of filming, Venus is still in retrograde, and it's probably, well, it is going to come out very soon. But whenever Venus retrogrades, it also can bring up memories from the past. So this person may just have really been thinking about you. It brings up anything unsettled and anything that hasn't been kind of worked through emotionally. It will conjure that up and force you to deal with it. So I do feel like this person, they may have been able to put this in the past before, but maybe lately they have just been plagued by thoughts of you and been feeling really down. This Venus retrograde, by the way, has been utterly insane. I don't know if you guys have been noticing, but so many couples have filed for divorce. Like, I mean, the Venus retrograding has been retrograding hard. Like, this one is one for the books. I think this is the most intense Venus retrograde since maybe 2019. I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen so many divorces. So it is going to work. And I feel like a lot of people are having thoughts of, the things they buried, things they just were like, well, whatever, I'll just not pay attention to the fact that I don't get along with my spouse. And all of it is coming back up with this Venus retrograde. So maybe that's what's going on. But yes, I definitely feel like this person has been thinking of you, and it hasn't been super positive. It's not been like, oh, yeah, everything is good. I wish, I mean, say less, right? The Tower card, come on. This person definitely has been thinking of you. And as I'm talking about what a hard time they've been going through, we get the Tower. So this person may literally be going through a little bit of a questioning of the self, a little bit of some deep shadow work, or just questioning their own self-worth, questioning, what am I doing? How do I go on? It really feels like this person is, if they've been able to run away from their emotions in the past, if they've been able to put on a blind spot and pretend like none of this is happening and just put it to bed, that is over now. Like, this person lately, I think, has been thinking of you a lot and in a very regretful way. I'm hearing it's over. So I feel like if there was some doubt in this person's mind, or maybe them thinking, oh, well, yeah, we're not talking now, but maybe pile one will reach out to me, pile one and I will meet back up again, and things are going to be fine again. It's like this person can't really pretend anymore. They can't really deny what's going on. They have to kind of admit that no, things are pretty much done and dusted and it's over. And I feel like that realization has been the harshest thing, because this person may have fantasized in the past that there was going to be some magical moment and you guys were just going to, be in the same Mexican restaurant, and, you'd be ordering the queso and they'd be getting the guac, and you guys would make eye contact, and then like, oh my God, hey, what are you up to? And then next thing you know, you guys are back at it again. And now this person's finally realizing that's not going to happen. There's not going to be some little magic scenario, and they're going to have to like either step up to the plate and actually reach out, or it's just not going to happen. And I feel like that has been a hard thing for this person to realize. I feel like for them, that was a little fantasy that kind of kept things alive for them. Also, I feel like in a way, this person was a little bit vengeful to you for a while. Like I said, there was some resentment in the past. There was some taking you for granted and kind of like, well, I'm going to show them. I'm going to show them how good I do without them. I'm going to show them that I'm fine. I'm going to show them that I don't really care. And now it's like, I have to admit that I totally messed this up. I think that's the hardest thing, is when you realize that you're the one who ruined things, when you realize that it was on you and you can't really blame anyone else. And I do feel like this person blamed you for a while. They acted like it was your doing, it was your fault, that, they didn't really do anything to it. They didn't really do anything to deserve it, whatever. And I feel like now they can't help but just be like, okay, that was kind of on me, and that has been very hard for their ego. Let's get some more cards. Okay, Page of Swords reverse. So yeah, this person would like to talk to you. They just don't want to reach out. But it feels like it has been becoming way more urgent to them lately. Like I said, I really do feel this person has been able to run from their emotions for a really long time. They've been able to play pretend and kind of ignore and kind of just act like everything is fine. And I feel like now it's just become much more overwhelming. Also, this feeling that I don't know if you guys are moving on, but I'm hearing she's gone. That Hall and Oates song. I love that. I love Hall and Oates. Um, but yeah, I feel like there's this feeling that you are doing something else with your life. You guys have moved on. You are looking towards the future. You're focusing on your life. You're focused on your dreams, your goal, your whatever you're working towards, and it doesn't feel like you're as fixated on them as they used to be, as you used to be in the past. So possibly this person used to be able to reach you on the astral plane, and they could feel this reciprocal connection. They could feel that you were thinking of them just as much as they were thinking of you, and that it was a mutual back and forth. And now it's like, wait, where did pile one go? Why am I alone here on the astral plane dreaming and thinking of them? And they are off living their life. Like, what is happening? This wasn't a part of the deal. This wasn't the contract we had. So yeah, I feel like this has been a big reckoning for this person, and definitely they are sad. I would say that this has been a lot for them to deal with. And if they're in another relationship, they may be really feeling tied down or really feeling the weight of it in a way that they didn't before. In the past, like I said, I think they were able to rationalize a lot of things. I think they were able to tell themselves that, like, no, I'm doing good. And, whatever, I don't even want to be with pile one. And pile one's too much work and all this stuff. And now they're like, yeah, I guess this feeling isn't going away. I guess I'm always going to feel this way. Let me get some message cards for pile number one. What messages do we have for pile number one, Spirit? Life with you is so much fun. So this person may feel like life is very dead and stagnant since they're not with you. I also got you're my favorite person. I feel like the contrast between how they feel when they're with you and the positivity of that and the joy of that, and then the sadness and the kind of emptiness and dryness. I'm hearing drought. So it's like how in a drought, the ground dries up and there's no sun, there's nothing blooming, or there is sun, too much sun. There's no rain though, and there's no greenery, and there's no life. That's kind of how it feels with you, without you. And I feel like for them, but that's what they think about. Maybe their time with you was the time when they felt the most alive and the most happy and the most fulfilled. And there's something about your smile and them thinking back on your smile, your laugh, that was so infectious and so inspiring to them, made them feel like they could just take on the world, like they could do anything. And I feel like, see, being with you feels fresh and new. You are so beautiful. And I feel like, they have to admit, it's like this person, I don't even know if they're going to admit it though, because I feel like the thing is, I don't think they would want to have to go to therapy. I don't think they're really, I think in order for them to be with you, they'd have to like confront all this stuff that they've really buried. They really have been running away from their emotions on a really deep level, not just when it comes to you, but with other things as well. I feel like they have kind of like looked on the bright side, but not in a good way. This is why I'm not a huge fan of looking on the bright side when it's delusion, because it's like sometimes you have to face things head on. And I feel like this person just feels very stuck, stagnant, frustrated, where they're like, I'm sad it didn't work out. I know some of it was my fault. I know some of it's my trauma, but I just can't confront it. I cannot look at this little monster in the mirror, this, monster in the back of my psyche. That's how they view it. That's how they view dealing with their trauma. It's like, I can't even go there. So even though it causes them so much pain, I also feel like this person's like, I can't change this. I can't do this work that you need me to do in order for us to be together. Like, I'm terrified. I cannot. That is just too much for me. And I feel like this person does know that deep down, that they would have to be willing and brave enough to confront this trauma. And that's also what's adding to this feeling of lack of self-worth that's come through so strong. I mean, they are going through it. Pile 1, they are going through it. It's not just about you. It's about what that means. It's about the fact that they couldn't make the most meaningful relationship in their life work, and everything that says about them, everything that says about their traumas and their dysfunctions and the shadow work they need to do. And it's kind of like what I'm seeing is like, you know how sometimes when you're growing up, maybe when you're like a kid in school, there'll be like a summer reading list or something. And sometimes, you know, if you're like a diligent kid, if you are a go-getter, like my older sister, you'd read all the reading early on and probably get that done. And then if you're like a procrastinator like me, you put it off. I think probably most people do this till like the last week. And then you're staring at this list of like 8 books you have to read within the span of a week. And you're like, oh, how do I do this? And it's very overwhelming and very daunting, right? And I feel like that's kind of how this person feels. It's almost like looking at the homework that you put off the whole semester and realizing you have to do, you know, I don't know, 150 different paperwork documents, pieces of homework. And then you're like, oh, I can't do this. There's literally no way. And I feel like that's how this person feels. It's almost like overwhelm. It's almost like panic or just disaster. Like, I'm not capable. I can't do this. You don't understand. I genuinely can't do this. That's kind of how this person is feeling towards me. So again, it definitely is about you, because this person's feelings for you are so strong that I think this is like one of the only things that can motivate them to really take a look at themselves. But it's also about so much more than that. And this is about this person's own dysfunctions that also don't have anything to do with you. So if you did ever take it personally in the moment of like, I can't believe they'd treat me like this, I can't believe they do this, I feel like maybe you need to hear that, you know, a lot of it was this person's own failures. Or even, you know, I love the phrase, if he wanted to, he would, in a way. I think it's a great mentality to have, because there's no point in sitting around waiting for someone to change or whatever. So I think if that's what makes you cut them off, then that's fine. But also, my Pluto square Mercury, I hate anything that's not like a precise truth. And I think that the reality of he wanted to, he would, is that sometimes people can't, you know, not everyone can do anything. And sometimes people have deep-seated traumas. Sometimes people have, you know, dysfunctions that prevent them from acting right. Either way, the outcome is the same. So not to get too bogged down in it, or not to excuse the behavior and be like, okay, so put up with it. I'm not saying that. I'm not being like, so, hey, it's no big deal because they're only doing it because of dysfunction. It doesn't really matter. What matters the most is the outcome. The why matters, but the thing that matters the most is like, you can't do it. You know, it's kind of like if you hire a moving company and the person really wants to help you move, but they're like 4'5" and they have no muscle on their body, but they're like, no, I really want to help you lift this. It's like, okay, well, that's cool. And I appreciate that you want to, but at the same time, you can't help me move this like couch. I need like a 6'2" muscular dude or something who can like lift this couch up, you know, and like, no offense to you, not trying to be a jerk, but you just physically can't lift this couch. You're 4'5" and you don't have any muscle on your body. So I appreciate the sentiment, but you can't do it. And you know what I mean? So I feel like in the same way, if he wanted to, he would, is like this oversimplification. And this is a perfect example of that, because you guys are, I think if this person would have done it for anyone, they would, but they're very much bogged down by their own issues, by their past, by their childhood traumas, by their past life traumas. We got I knew you in a past life. This person and you may have a soulmate past life connection. I could totally see that. And there may be dynamics in the past life that were equally dysfunctional. This is what sometimes people think when you're saying, oh, you guys had a past life connection, that it's like, oh, so your soulmates is gonna be awesome. No, no, because a lot of times past life stuff is like unfinished business. And that's why you're meeting them again in this lifetime. Sometimes it's complicated. You can agree to meet up in this lifetime for a variety of reasons. Sometimes it is like, hey, we have so much fun together, let's do this again. But sometimes it's like, okay, I, you know, really hurt you in a past lifetime. I want you to come in and hurt me now. I, you know, triggered you a trauma in a past life. Now I want you to trigger some of mine, you know, and those are soul agreements because we are supposed to grow. So it's actually doing you a service, even though it doesn't feel that way. But anyway, not to go down that rabbit hole, but you know, you might also look up if your synastry and see if you have South Node connections with this person. It would be really interesting if y'all had like Mars or Pluto aspecting your South nodes with this person, because I feel that there's a lot of I don't know, there's a really strong, almost like battle energy between you guys. Like I feel like this person and you, yeah, I don't know if you guys had a past life where someone did the other wrong, but I feel like this person kind of thought, oh, I can act the same dysfunctional way in this lifetime as I did in a past life. And there was some like putting your foot down that you guys did where you were like, no. And this person being like shocked. So I don't know, but I definitely could see that past life intensity that you guys have for sure. So yeah, I think that's what I have for you, Pal One. I think the answer is a definite yes. You are definitely on their minds. And you know what? Hopefully, this person can maybe get a little bit happier and things can improve for them because they are definitely going through that ringer. I don't know if it's the Venus retrograde or what, but this person, they're having a rough time. So if it resonated, guys, let me know down in the comments. It always helps, and I love hearing your perspective on things. Also, make sure to like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and if you want to see more of my content, head to my Patreon. I just posted a reading all about an early dating, early love reading, so that's a really great one to watch if you want some guidance on a new relationship, as well as a reading all about what you're destined to have in this lifetime. So what is meant to be yours, what you're meant to come into. But as soon as you sign up for my Patreon, you'll get access to over 60 additional readings, and new readings go up all the time. So there is a lot of content to get through, and we vote and suggest new readings. So it's very interactive. So if you'd like to join us over there, then please head to my Patreon. The link for that is underneath the timestamps in the comments and the description, and I would absolutely love to see you over there. Also, if you guys want to get a private one-on-one reading with me, you can also get that at my website, briarrosetarot.com. You can get a half hour or a full hour long reading with me, have me pull tarot for you, read your astrology, channel for you, and you get to ask me basically whatever you'd want. So if you'd like that, like I said, head to my website, briarrosetarot.com, and I would be thrilled to do a reading for you. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am sending you so much love and light, and I'll be back again very soon with another reading. Take care, guys, and I'll see you then. Bye. Hey, Pile 2, welcome to your reading. Let's get into your cards and see if your person has you on their mind, if they're thinking of you. Is Pile 2 on this person's mind? Listening. So I would say yes, you are on their mind. I would say that that is a definite yes. And it feels to me, though, not as if they're as angry as sometimes happens with like a breakup or a nasty separation. I feel like you're on this person's mind in like a really positive way. Like they're reminiscing about you and thinking of all the beautiful things about you, thinking about your smile, thinking about your laugh, and honestly, just I feel like they replay a lot of memories of like little gestures or how you look or the way the light hits your face or the color of your eyes in the sunlight or whatever. But I feel like they replay a lot of these little details to themselves about you. And again, it feels more positive, less angry or depressed or sad than some other piles might have. So I feel like, yes, they are thinking of you. But I wouldn't be surprised if some of you guys aren't in like separation from this person. Maybe you're still dealing with them. Maybe they're still an active part of your life. Or maybe, I don't know, even though you guys have separated, that they still think of you mostly with fondness and with happy memories and in a good way, in a positive, sweet way, not with any anger or resentment. But yeah, I think this person, there's still some hope for them as well. There's still this hope of reunion. There's still this thinking of, maybe we'll meet up one day. Maybe we will run into each other. And it's very positive. It's very hopeful. It's very looking forward to that day and smiling over it, not feeling depressed or feeling like it's pointless or, pessimistic or angry or I want to get back at this person. Also, this person may listen to music and it may remind them of you if you ever made like this person a playlist or introduced them to certain songs. Those songs, when they come on, it may bring back a rush of memories for them, or even songs that you didn't specifically introduce them to, but may remind them of you. Like if you have brown eyes, maybe they hear the song Brown Eyed Girl and they think of you, or, just a song that feels like a vibe or a romantic song, they may think of you. So I feel like for them, listening to the radio, listening to Spotify or whatever, definitely brings up feelings and reminiscences, but I don't feel like this person feels like it's over. Like I just saw the image of someone in the gym. So some of these people may even be doing like self-improvement stuff with a goal in mind of getting to meet up with you and impressing you, showing you how far they've come, showing you everything they bring to the table. Yeah, I feel like with them, there's still this kind of positive idea that things are going to work out between you, or this idea that there's still a chance, there's still some hope. And yeah, some of you guys may still be with this person, in which case they may be in that phase of love, or just have that love where everything reminds them of you. And, they're walking around and they see anyone with your hair color and they're instantly like, oh my God, is that pile two? Or, they see someone wearing a white shirt and they're like, oh, pile two's white shirt. It looks so good on her, or whatever. Let me get into some more cards for pile number two. Is pile two's person thinking of them? We got goblins, okay? And let's see. This one says details, details. Because I do feel like this person is almost like they are working. Oh my gosh, strength card. And I was seeing someone lifting weights in the gym. But, with the details card, I feel like this person, in a way, it makes sense because they are kind of trying to figure out the details of how you guys can be together. They're kind of sorting through like, okay, maybe there are detailed reasons why you guys aren't together, as in things that have to do with the world, not their emotions, but maybe, logistics, whatever stage of life you're in. Maybe this person may be, really busy with work or school, or they may be in another relationship or something, which can be kind of tricky. But, there are situations that sometimes prevent two people from being together, even if that love is really pure and even if the feelings and intentions are there. So this person may be pointing to logistical issues, details that really shouldn't matter, but do matter, of course, because we live in a physical reality. So it's like you may love someone a lot, but if they live in another state, physically, you can't be with them in that moment, right? Or if you have a job that requires you to work 10 hours, 12 hours a day, you may really want to see your partner, but you can't because you're really busy. Or if, maybe you have parents that really don't want you guys to be together for some reason, that can create issues as well. So sometimes it's like, even if the love is there and the love is strong, there's other factors that may hold a relationship back. And I feel like that's kind of what's going on with this person, or one of the reasons why they're pointing, if you guys are in separation, as things that have influenced the relationship. I really do feel like there's probably a lot of people in this pile where you're still with this person, in which case, yes, they are definitely thinking of you. And it's a really sweet, fond, almost giving me like puppy love vibes, like those beginning stages of love when you're just like, oh, they're perfect and I just can't get enough of them. And they're just so pretty and they're so handsome and they're so attractive and they're so smart and everything they do just like charms you. That's kind of how it feels to me. So either way, I definitely feel like it's not like this person has made a choice. If you guys are together or not, this person has not made any kind of choice to not be with you. It's not something that they have any resentment or anger about. I feel like they are like, things are really tricky and maybe things didn't work out for other reasons if you guys are in separation. But the intentions and the love is there. And I feel like they think of you as so charming and funny, and there's this really strong sense of like protectiveness that I feel like this person has over you. Maybe that's why I saw them working out in the gym and this strength card came out, is maybe they want to like be able to physically protect you. That may be important to this person. They may be doing a self-improvement endeavor to get to be able to be stronger for you, or to be able to be more reliable for you. I feel like this person has been trying to do self-improvement, and it's like they want to look out for you in some way. They see you as kind of vulnerable in a way, especially if you're a woman and this is like a man. I feel like they really want to like be your protector. And of course, if you're a man asking about a woman, women, we kind of do the protection on the spiritual realm. I always think, the emotional spiritual realm, that's kind of our, thing, our area where we do really well. So maybe it's they want to be your protector emotionally, spiritually speaking. But either way, I feel like this person, it's almost like they see you in a little kid way, but not in a looking down on you way. But you know how when you really love someone, you see them as just very innocent, pure, and think of them as being a kid in a way. Or at least I do that. Even when I know someone as an adult, when I'm like really fond of them, I always think of what they would have been like as a kid. And, if they show me like a photo of them at 7, I always keep that image in my mind of just like, oh, like when they were so innocent. And, and it's almost like when you love someone, it brings out that protective urge where you see them that way. You will always see them as like this sweet little innocent, pure person, even if they're a full grown adult. At least that's how I view people that are close to me. But yeah, I think this person, they see you with rose colored glasses. It's almost like there's nothing you could do to really turn them off or make them mad or make them want to run away from you. There may be other factors that they're pointing to with this Goblin's card. It may be people around you that they feel like have thrown a cog into the wheel of the relationship. So it may be that they're blaming like your friends or your family or coworkers or whoever, other factors. I feel like they're kind of saying that there's like jealousy, jealous people who didn't like you guys being together, people who don't want to see you guys thrive and be, united. So they're kind of saying there were people around you who may have sabotaged things, who may have, gone out of their way because they didn't want to see you guys thriving. And I feel like this person blames them. They don't blame themselves and they don't blame you. They blame these other factors. They blame these other people. And I feel like if there's any anger, it's towards those others. It's towards, the extenuating factors. Even if it's not people, even if it's like they blame their boss because their boss is always making them work late. And so you broke up with them because you were like, I never see you, and you're never, like you haven't taken me on a date in weeks. They might be angry at their boss for that, or they may be angry at your boss because you couldn't see them. But I feel like they're not having animosity towards you. And for many of you guys, maybe this is someone you really are dating and new to love. I don't know, but I'm getting this giddy feeling like this person can't wait to see you. They're excited. They feel like they could laugh and, just jump up and down or like skip along the road and like lay in a little field of sunflowers or something. Like it's giving me that vibe of just a really happy, beautiful. And I'm hearing that song by Post Malone and Doja Cat, I Like You. And they're in like a field of wildflowers, I think, during like a super bloom at the time. And it's just like that giddy stage of love feeling. So, yeah, I would say that they definitely are thinking of you and they think you're so pretty. That's just what they said in my mind. Like, Pile 2 is so pretty. You wouldn't believe how pretty Pile 2 is. Like, Pile 2 is just freaking gorgeous. So, they're gassing you up. They definitely are a fan kind of you. Let's get into some more cards. I want to do some song cards. So we got Wildest Dreams, Taylor Swift. What a romantic song. And of course, there's so many great lyrics in that song, but what's coming to my mind is you'll see me in hindsight, tangled up with you all night, burning it down. And it's like whatever part, I can't remember the exact lyric, I hope these memories follow you around. And yeah, I feel like this person thinks of you a lot and your face. Her lyrics are so vivid. She's so good at lyrics. And the way she describes, looking at my face or my face flush, me in my dress or whatever. I feel like this person definitely has memories. It really conjures up how memories work, how you'll picture someone in a certain outfit or how you'll remember the way someone looked in just a certain moment with, like I said, the light hitting their face from a certain angle or just the look in their eyes, their stare or their, certain pieces of their body. Like you'll get glimpses of that, you know what I mean, when you're having a memory flashback. And I feel like that person does that a lot with you. And they're very attracted to just your physicality, your actual body, your actual form and shape and lines on your face and body and the way the light hits it and the colors and everything. They see it as so beautiful. So I think they definitely reminisce a lot about you. And I'm hearing if you ever got to actually cuddle with this person, you were an amazing cuddler, and they actually love your actual body. Like that matters a lot to them, just the feeling of your body against theirs. If they never got to cuddle you, maybe they're just imagining that it's freaking amazing. So we got A Sky Full of Stars, Coldplay. Let's see. The Heart Wants What It Wants, Selena Gomez. Okay. And okay, that was too many songs. Let me see. Radar, Britney Spears. So I do feel like this person, like I was saying, they do have the intention of coming back towards you. Halcyon, Ellie Goulding. Okay, wow. Because Halcyon is like, Halcyon days are like a beautiful era when you look back and you're like, oh my gosh, that was so perfect. Like when you look back in winter to the beautiful Sundays of summer, you know, the actual Sundays, as in like filled with sunshine. I don't know why I said Sundays, but that's how I think of them. You know, like the sunny, beautiful light that happens in like July and August, the golden light that falls over everything. And you're in the depths of winter when the light is so blue and purple, and you think back and everything's cold, and you think back to like laying in the grass in July. That's kind of like halcyon days, you know, or when like, I don't know, you're in a horrible era of history or something, kind of like we are now. No, I'm just kidding. And you think back to like maybe like, I don't know, you had a horrible revolution, and you know now there's like no food or something, and you think back to like, wow, when things were good and there was lots of food and the government was awesome or something like that, basically is what that word means. So I feel like for you, for this person, their time with you was like a highlight. You know, they think on their time with you, and it's like emblazoned in their memory of like this beautiful little era, this beautiful time you guys shared. And I think in a way, this person is very grateful to you because I'm hearing you made them believe in love again. This person may not have experienced real love before they met you. Or if they had, they may have had their heart broken and been in a really jaded, sad place where they were like depressed about love, and they were thinking that, you know, love always hurts, or love is, you know, really hard. And you kind of brought that sunshine back to them. You brought that happiness and that giddiness and that feeling of like flirting with someone and getting all excited to see them, and you know, everything reminding you of them. We got A Sky Full of Stars, and that song always makes me think of that, kind of like that feeling in love when you look up, when you know you really have feelings for someone when you're looking up at the sky, and then you think that person would be looking, you're like, oh, that person's looking at the same stars, you know. And so many people have that experience, so it's not, I know it's not just me, because other people have written about it. So I don't know what it is about the stars, but we always seem to think about like our loved ones when we're looking up at the stars. So I feel like this person, yeah, a lot of things remind you of them, and you're kind of this little star in a way that they work towards, because like the star in tarot can show something that you think about when things are hard, because it follows the Tower card. So it can show that things that you know, you kind of hold in your mind as like, okay, I'm gonna follow this star. And the wise men, you know, they followed the star with Jesus to lead them to the manger, and the star has a lot of symbology related to that. It's like people would navigate by the stars back in the day. So I feel like with you, you know, they think about you, and it really gives them some direction in their life. But I definitely do feel like this person has an intention to come back into your life at some point. Let's get some more cards for pile number 2. What cards can we get for pile 2? Let's see. This one says Ace of Swords. I'm going to read it upright. Let's put that over here. Okay. And so this person really may want to reach out to you. The Ace of Swords is often like a communication, burst of communication. It's also a burst of insight, inspiration. So it can, you know, be like this, especially if you're doing something kind of creative or communicative, like writing a song, writing poetry. You know, swords deal with communication. It's ruled by air. So it could be something that's like, you suddenly want to write a book, or you suddenly have the answer to an equation you've been puzzling over. And I feel like with you, you know, you may literally inspire them to make some art, to write, to compose, to put together some poetry, or just put them into that mindset of like creatively verdant, you know, when just you just feel like your mind is going a million miles an hour, and you're just like, I'm full of ideas, I'm full of life. But I do feel like this person would want to reach out to you with the Ace of Swords. that can sometimes be communication that comes from out of the blue, like a random message, a random DM, random phone call, maybe from a number you don't recognize. And then it's like, oh, what are you doing calling me? This is crazy. So this person may definitely want to reach out to you, want to initiate contact, want to talk to you again. With the Three of Wands, I also feel like this person, it can be a similar vibe, wanting to embark on some kind of a mission. The other thing about that though is I do feel like this person may be busy a lot in their life and maybe dealing with a lot. Like I said, there's some logistics at play in this relationship. Even though the emotions are there, the feelings are there, there's other factors at play. Of course, we live in a physical reality bound by physical laws and rules. So it's like you may want to see someone so bad, but if you're on the other side of the planet, you can't like teleport to them. I mean, you could astral project and visit them in the astral realm, but in the physical realm, you obviously are constrained by like gravity and all these, rules that we exist in this time space continuum. So I feel like for them, there may be other factors at play with regards to like their work or their social life or just things they're doing. They may be busy in some way, or they may be in a relationship, or they may feel like you're in a relationship. And those things may hold you guys back from being together in the physical and from actually, physically getting to like touch and be around each other. If you guys aren't together, I could definitely see a lot of you guys being together. So yeah, I think, this person, the message I'm getting is kind of like, I'm really busy right now. So, if you have been wanting this person to reach out, talk to you, make plans, that could be a reason why they're not doing it. I feel like they just have a lot on their plate and they just have a lot that they have to do. They have a lot of other like obligations and things that they have to take care of. And that could be the reason if you have been like, okay, if they feel strongly for me, why haven't they reached out? That could definitely be why, is because they're just busy. They're dealing with a lot, they got a lot to do, and it doesn't feel like this is as negotiable as other things. Like, sometimes you have a lot of say in your life of like, oh, yeah, I can, I can postpone that and let's hang out today and whatever. Sometimes you're like, I can't, I have to do it, like, sorry, but I have to work on this, or I have this job, I have to clock in at a certain time. I don't have the money to quit my job, so I got to show up, and it's just a reality. Even if you may wish it was otherwise, you got to pay the bills, right? And so I feel like with this person, they're saying that there's certain situations around them that they're just kind of like stuck in, or they don't really have a say in. And it's not that they don't want to be with you or that they don't care, but a lot of it is kind of like out of their control, is I feel like what they're saying. Let me get some more cards for pile number 2. Yeah, 2. I was like, am I on the right pile? Okay. 8 of Swords. And that can show, it shows someone with their hands tied. And that's a great, we have that phrase in English, my hands are tied, I can't do anything about it. 8 of Swords can also be a blindfold. It can be not seeing things clearly, not really realizing that you have more agency than you do. So sometimes we can even delude ourselves into being like, no, I'm trapped. I can't do anything about it, when you're like, yes, you can, like, just call in sick, or you know what I mean? Or just like, you make your own schedule, just move it, but sometimes we don't see that. Like maybe someone can make their own schedule, but they just feel like they have to show up at this time. And so it stresses them out. And even if they have more power than they realize, they may feel tied to it. So this person just may not see a way out. With the 9 of Swords, that is a card about staying up late, stressing, being sleepless because you're worried. So if there is negative emotion here, again, I don't feel like it's towards you, but there may be parts of this person that is worried or stressed about other logistics in their life. They may be dealing with a lot of other things. And I feel like in a way you're like a comfort to them going through this stage. So, if they're worried, some of them may have family stuff is what I'm hearing. They may provide for their family or give their family money, or there just may be sometimes unhealthy dynamics with family as well. Sometimes it's like family puts, family has everyone's family has their own like family traumas, hopefully we can transmute that and clear all of it out. But A lot of families are like dysfunctional in different ways. Maybe they expect a lot out of their child, even though they're the child, they may expect the child to like look after them, take care of them, blah, blah, blah. And so sometimes it can even just be the demands of family, like the way that family expects you to show up, or the way family doesn't really want you to be in a relationship. So they sabotage you every time you start getting close to someone, or they, call you and say they need help right when you're driving to like celebrate your girlfriend's birthday, and they tell you it's an emergency. Families do weird stuff like that. Families can be very wanting to preserve the family union and doing everything to keep someone in that. So I'm not saying that's what's going on, but I do feel like if this person is stressed and worried, it's not necessarily because of you, pile two. I feel like there's feelings for you. What I'm getting is very positive, but we did get that goblins card at the beginning. So they may be worried about some other people, people around you, people around them, that's holding things back. We also got the judgment card, and yeah, the judgment card can also talk about, well, yeah, a rebirth, rejuvenation of a situation. So again, if you guys haven't been talking, this person may have a desire and an intention that you guys will start talking again at some point. We have the same sense of humor. We're going to get some final message cards. I know you've been hurt in the past. What messages does pile 2 person have for pile 2? And are they thinking of them? I want to travel the world with you. And let's see. I dream about you. And let's get at least one more. Okay, we got 2. You're my favorite person, and life with you is so much fun. Yeah, I feel like when you guys get together, it's like you guys are like 2 little kids. Like you have the same sense of humor, which we literally got that card. But yeah, you have like the same things make you laugh. You both are like giddy and happy to be around each other. And you're kind of like each other's favorite person. Like I feel like there's so much happiness when things are good between you guys. They're really good and things are amazing. And I feel like this person, it's like they're kind of wistful. Like I feel like they wish they could spend more time with you. They wish they could be with you. Again, I could really see a lot of you guys in this pile actually literally being with this person now, and you guys haven't had a breakup. That's like a tongue twister, but not having had a breakup and being like actively together. But if you guys have had a breakup, I do feel like their thoughts of you, their memories of you are something that brings them a great deal of joy and happiness and even comfort if they're dealing with this kind of 9 of Swords energy in other parts of their life. If they're stressed about work, family, school, friends, whatever the case may be, they think about you and it kind of puts a smile on their face. But yeah, I think the intentions are there. The only thing that I could see as a negative in this relationship are those tricky little logistics. The world we live in, the physical laws that we have to live in, the money we have to make, and other factors like that. The family we have, blah blah blah. So the feelings for you though are really strong. The intentions towards you are very positive. And yeah, I think they really do like you, pile two. So I hope that resonated. If it did, let me know in the comments. I love hearing from you guys. Also, make sure to give this reading a like, hit the thumbs up, and make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications. And if you want to see more of my content, then head to my Patreon. I post all my additional readings over there, and I just posted a reading all about what you're meant to have in this lifetime, what is meant to be yours, and what you're destined to have, actually. And then before that, I posted one all about an early love, early dating reading. So this may be perfect for some of y'all because I could see this person and you guys being actively engaged together and having a thing going on currently. So you might want to watch that to get more guidance with this person as how they're feeling. But as soon as you sign up, you'll get access to all my readings. So over 60 additional readings, and new ones go up all the time. We also vote and suggest new ones. You guys vote on them and suggest them. So if you want to sign up, head to my Patreon. The link for that is underneath the timestamps in the comments and the description. And I would absolutely love to see you there. So also, if you guys want to get a private one-on-one reading with me, you can get that at my website, briarrosetarot.com. You can sign up for a half hour or a full hour-long session with me, having pull tarot for you, read your astrology, channel for you. And you can ask me basically whatever you want within reason, of course. But yeah, you get to use your time how you want to ask about whatever. So anyway, if you'd like that, like I said, go to my website, briarrosetarot.com. A link is in my description for that. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I am sending you so much love and light, and I'll be back again very soon with another reading. So take care, guys, and I'll see you then. Bye. Hey, pile three, welcome to your reading. Let's get into your cards. So is pile three on this person's mind? Is pile three on this person's mind? So we got home and we got magic prayer. Is pile three on this person's mind? Sad embrace and strength. I don't know if this person is dealing with a lot, but they do feel to me like they are a little distracted. I do feel like they think of you, but it's almost like they also have a lot on their plate or a lot of other things that they're worrying about, thinking about, that they're having to like pay attention to. But yes, I would say that you are on their mind, and I feel like, I don't know if this person, some of them are like keeping themselves busy to prevent themselves from thinking of you, or this just the logistics of their life are genuinely busy. But I feel like in a way this person does everything they can kind of like not to think of you, so they may be distracting themselves or trying to kind of like not have the time to think of you. So it's kind of giving me the vibes of someone who just went through a breakup or something and is like going out all the time and, you know, partying, but they're not really fully doing it from an authentic place of like, no, I just genuinely want to go out and I'm having so much fun. It's more from a place of like, I really don't want to think about this person. So yeah, let's go party, and trying to like drink too much so that they won't think of the person, you know, that kind of energy. But yeah, I feel like they do think of you. There's almost a sense of, I want to say regret or bitterness, or that's not the word. Like, how do I describe this? It's this sense of, I messed up, and this sense of kind of like, you know how like you do something embarrassing and then you look back on it and you cringe or wince, like the time that you tripped and fell in front of a whole restaurant and knocked over a bottle of wine and everyone was like staring at you, and you think back on it and you're like, oh my god, it was so embarrassing, and you like wince internally. Or the time that like you didn't realize you had like a giant piece of lettuce in your teeth and you were talking to your crush for like 10 minutes, and then you look back later and you're like, oh my god, why did that have to happen? I feel like that's the feeling, you know, it's like this painful like touching a bruise type feeling like when they think of you. So I do feel like they might take their mind off you or like distract themselves or try not to focus on you as much because it's not pleasant for them to think back on that. And there is this sense of possibly having embarrassed themselves or possibly having um, said the wrong thing or done something cringe, is what it is. You know what? I just realized I said the word cringe. You know, I was like, I feel like I'm cringing, and then cringe, and that's, I guess, why we say things are cringe. That just literally dawned on me this moment. Maybe I'm really the last person to realize that, but anyway. Yeah, I literally feel like they're cringing and they're like internally wincing at that, and they're kind of like, oh my gosh, I don't even want to go there. I don't even want to think about it. I don't want to like reminisce. I don't want to imagine. I don't want to remember. I just want to like focus forward. And so they may be actively trying to date other people or take their mind off it or think of others. And this person also could just be living a really busy life and having genuinely other factors that are at play where their mind is elsewhere. So that are keeping them really busy as they, you know, don't have as much time to think of you. But yeah, I do feel like for some of them it's a real conscious effort. It's something they do on purpose because it would be painful for them to have to go there. Let me get into some song cards. So we got Trains to Brazil, Guillermo, All of Me Wants All of You, Sefton Stevens. I'm hearing There Was a Chance, something like that. I just heard it so loud in my mind, but it's like there's a chance, but I feel like it's in the past tense. And I feel like this person, in a way, it's almost like I got my hopes up type of feeling. Like I feel like this person kind of beats themselves up, or there's a part of them that's like, of course it didn't work out, like very pessimistic, kind of like things never work out for me. Why did I expect it to be any different with pile three? Why did I ever think someone like pile three would go for me? I don't know if this person is just pessimistic in general, or like down in the dumps, or they don't have super high self-esteem, but it feels like they kind of get down on themselves about everything that happened with you and about themselves in general. They kind of feel like, I don't know if I'm good enough for even a relationship in general, let alone with pile three. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if this person has like low self-esteem or something like that. But it definitely feels like they didn't feel the confidence or the ability to really step towards you in the way that they would have wanted to. We got Bleed to Love Her by Lindsey Buckingham. And let's see, what other songs are we gonna get? Death by a Thousand Cuts, Taylor Swift. Yeah, and that's a perfect song that sums up that vibe, because she's talking about how, and Sex with My Ex, Lil Peep, how she's talking about how she's walking through New York City and everything reminds her of like an ex. And so yeah, I feel like this person has that kind of pain where, I don't know if this has happened to anyone else, but I have had that experience where like you break up with someone that you really cared about and you're in the same city as them, or, all the places in that city have memories for you of like, oh, that's where we kissed for the first time, and that's where we hung out there for the first time, and that's the first time that I met his friends, and that's his old apartment. And like that is a painful feeling and just the worst. So I feel like they're kind of, and it's almost like you want to distract yourself, and like you might literally be like, if someone's like, oh, do you want to go to this bar, and that's one of the places that like you guys went out for the first time, and your first date was at, you're gonna be like, no, 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 let's not go to that bar, let's go, there's another bar, we can go to that one. And it's not even down the street because that's too close, so it's across the city, but let's go there instead. I want to go there, because you don't want to be in that same place and you don't want to have those memories come up. And I kind of feel like that's what this person is doing, or that's how this person is feeling, is like they don't want all these memories, constantly rushing back to them. They don't want to think of you. They don't want to have all these reminiscences of you. And I feel like for them, they'll do like whatever it takes to not think of you. So right now, I would say they're not thinking of you that much, but it's not something that's easy for them or something that just is naturally happening necessarily. Some of them may be really busy, but it may also be something where they like stacked their schedule up because they knew they didn't want to have to think of you. So they were like, well, if I take this job, or if I go back to school, or if I, have my hobbies really, really busy, and I sign up for like a kickball team and I go out with my friends every night, then I'm not going to have to think about pile three. But it definitely feels, they may have even like moved or traveled somewhere with this Trains to Brazil song. They may have literally relocated in an attempt to not be reminded of you. Like I said, not have that experience of being in a city and every place you go is like, oh, there, oh, I remember that. Oh, I remember that place. Because that is literally the worst thing ever. And yeah, I think for them, they're kind of making that concerted effort to try to move on, or try to distract themselves, try to keep their mind off of you. But I feel like it does come back to them, and they do feel that connection with you on the astral plane. I don't know if you've been thinking of them or something, but I feel like in a way they're like, my brain keeps going back to them and I can't stop myself from thinking of it. And I feel like this person, I wouldn't be surprised if they even had like blocked you on social media, or like deliberately were never checking your stories. And you may be like, okay, so do they not care? And that may be something that they're doing on purpose to try to not think of you and move on, because their mind keeps going back to you and they're like, I definitely don't want pile three to know this. I don't want pile three to see this. So for some in this pile, they could be genuinely not thinking of you. I'm not going to lie, but I also feel like there's a lot of others where it's something they're doing deliberately to try to move on and try to get themselves some emotional distance from this situation, and try to like move forward. I feel like this person is kind of focusing on like, okay, I need to create a new life. I need to build something new. I need to get my mind off it. If I date someone else, then I'm not going to be so sad. But they definitely remember thoughts of you. And I feel like for them, it's, it's definitely been hard for them. Let me get into some tarot for pile number 3. Spirit, what can you tell me about pile 3, and are they thinking of, or is pile three's person thinking of them? So we got the Four of Pentacles. And the Four of Pentacles is all about building a solid foundation in your life. And it's coming out right above the Ten of Pentacles. So yeah, I mean, Four of Pentacles is often someone who's like starting a business, owning a business, focusing on their work, focusing on, the lifestyle they're trying to make for themselves, focusing on their obligations, their needs, their, what they have to do in their life, it's kind of like the requirements. It's kind of like the boring stuff of initially building something. It hasn't necessarily come to fruition yet. It's not time to like lay off and chill back and slack. It's like, okay, I've got to, make sure my I's are dotted and T's are crossed, and I got to like call into work, and I got to do this, and I got to do that, and I got to build this, this business from the ground up. So it is a very diligent type of energy. And again, I feel like for some of these people, they are just literally busy with their work or their school. But for others, I do feel like this is something they have created for themselves in an attempt to not think about you. How else is this person feeling towards pile 3? What can you tell me, Spirit? How is this person feeling? So look, we have the truth comes out, right? The truth comes out. More pentacles. I feel like it's funny because even doing this reading, it's like, I feel like this person doesn't want to talk about their emotions. They're kind of being very cagey. They're kind of blocking me from it. And I'm like, okay, I get it. You're busy with work, but how are you feeling? And when I finally asked that question, look what came out, the Ten of Swords reversed. They don't even want to go there. They don't even want to show how emotional they are. They don't want you to know that they are feeling things really deeply and that they do feel really sad about this. I feel like this person isn't super in tune with their emotions anyway. I don't feel like this is the kind of person who would like openly cry watching a sad movie, or who would sometimes, I notice a lot of people just don't even know their emotions. Probably I notice this because I'm a Cancer moon, so I couldn't stifle my emotions if I tried, like they're just too overwhelming. And I always notice that with other people. I think it is a little red flag when I'm like, when something happens and someone's like, and you're like, hey, how do you feel? And they're like, I'm fine. No, it's fine. That's fine. Because it's almost always like they're stuffing something down, And it's okay sometimes to be numb. Sometimes that's part of the grief process. But sometimes people are just so terrified of confronting their emotions and opening Pandora's box and everything that's going to come pouring out. And I feel like that's kind of what this person is doing, They don't feel, to me, super emotionally literate. Like they might not even know what to call it when they're feeling sad or when they're feeling happy or when they're nervous. They may not, some people who do this, it's like that's why they'll get really mad easily, because they don't want to admit they're feeling sad and helpless and very upset. So instead they'll just be like, I'm mad. I'm mad, because it makes them feel powerful, and they are so afraid of admitting how hopeless and dejected and sad and and it ties back to childhood. It's like this whole, like I said, Pandora's box. So I feel like with this person, they kind of do that. They kind of hold their emotions at arm's length. They don't want to go there. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to even open up that can of worms of like, I really feel very sad. I really feel dejected. I really feel hopeless. I really feel like I messed things up, or I really miss pile 3. I really want to be with pile 3. I really like pile 3. For some of you guys, I could even see you still dating this person. There may not be a breakup. This may be someone you're actively dealing with, but it may be that they have a hard time being in touch with their emotions. They have a hard time telling you. This may have come up in the relationship where you're like, how are you feeling for me? Like, tell me what you're feeling. Do you love me? Whatever. And they're like, I don't know. And this may have been something where you're like, tell me how you feel. Like, show me something. Show me some passion or whatever. Because I feel like this person just does not feel comfortable in the spiritual realm. Maybe they're earth dominant. I could see that. I mean, they could be a Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. And I love earth signs because they're so efficient, but they don't necessarily feel super great about rolling around in emotions and getting like really, deep about how they're feeling. Air signs don't either, really, but they're more communicative at least. Earth signs are just like, let me buckle down and work. That's kind of their vibe, is like when they get stressed out, they often want to work or do something and start building. So they're not going to be like sitting down and wanting to talk to you like you're their therapist. And I feel like sometimes with this person, they just feel more comfortable dealing with their work situation or focusing on obligations they have or focusing on their schedule or talking to their friends or other things, other than admitting that they do think of you so much and that you are on their mind and that they do have strong feelings for you. And if there was a breakup or y'all aren't in contact, then definitely I feel like this person, it's not an emotion they want to go there with. They don't really want to process that they really lost out on something and deal with the upset feelings. So I could even see some of you guys having had a breakup with this person and them afterwards seeming totally chill. So you're like, okay, so you don't even care, like you're not even sad at all. And I feel like in a way this person's like in denial, not wanting to go there. And the sad thing is when we do deny emotions, it's going to come out sooner or later. Sooner or later, this is going to come upright, not be reversed anymore. And they're not going to be able to lie or hide or pretend anymore. And they're going to have to admit how sad they are. It's going to come rushing out in a tower moment. So if they were just more honest with themselves, with you, I think they'd be in a better position to deal with this. Let's see how else. What can you tell me about how they're feeling towards pile 3, Spirit? What can you tell me about how they're feeling towards pile 3? Oh my God. And what did I just say? It's going to be a tower moment. And then we also got the 5 of Pentacles reverse. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there's a storm coming for this person if they don't want to admit it. If they don't want to really go there, if they really want to be in denial about this, then, it may be years later that they're finally forced to admit everything that they've lost and all the mistakes they've made. And they're finally forced to admit how painful it has been for them. The more we repress an emotion, the more we try to run from it, the more we try to hide from it, the more we try to pretend everything's fine, everything's good, I don't really care, I'm thriving, the more it like seeps up on you. It's kind of like someone trying to, I don't know, hide the fact that there's a leak in their plumbing and just keeps closing the door to like the kitchen sink or closing the cabinet and being like, no, it's fine, and mopping it up, but like that wood is rotting and sooner or later it's literally going to flood the kitchen, and if you just took care of it and plugged it, then it would be okay. And it's funny that metaphor was for water. I guess that's, there's so much wisdom in the choices of all the elements, and water is one of those emotions that you got to deal with. One of those elements that you got to deal with. You can try to like hide it, but it will seep out underneath the floorboards and flood everything if you don't manage it. And that's how emotions are. That's why water is emotions in tarot, is because you have to deal with your feelings. You can't just file them away. Water just doesn't work that way. It's very uncontainable. So yeah, I think with this person, if they are not willing to confront this sooner or later, then maybe, a few years down the line, they will have to admit how strongly they feel for you, how sad they are, how much they miss you. And then there's going to be this double sense of regret because it's like they didn't do anything at the time when that was, when it was earlier and they could have addressed it early. Because just like I was mentioning with that metaphor, if you got that linking, faucet, you can like fix it up if you notice it in the early stages. But if it has flooded and rotted and caused mold all over your bathroom, that's going to be a lot to deal with. If you can, get that plugged up after a day, it's probably fine. If you've been letting that drip, drip, drip down into the floor for months or a year, it's going to be a big issue. Let's get some message cards. What messages does this person have for pile number 3? What messages does this person have for pile number 3? How are they feeling? I am in awe of you. And it's so interesting that got erased because, again, I feel like this person is very cagey about like how they feel for you. It's like they don't want to really go there, So of all the cards, that one got like a drip of water on it, I guess. Oh my God, that's a funny. Don't you just love when there's so many synchronicities in tarot? I feel like that always confirms in a reading. So speaking of water drips, there we go. But it smudged away the ink, and so you can't even read it. And again, I feel like when this person, I'm like, okay, be emotional, tell me how you're feeling. This person like literally will like try to obfuscate it and just block it out and smudge away what they're talking about, and not, they definitely don't want to be fully transparently honest about what is going on in their heart. But we also got, you are my favorite person. Your body is incredible. And this person may feel much more comfortable complimenting you on the level of physicality, like your body, your face, you look hot, you know, stuff like that. Because again, I feel like the deep emotional stuff scares them, and acknowledging the connection y'all have and how, you know, how deep it goes may also scare this person. It may scare them to admit that, you know, they had to be, they are vulnerable with you, that like their feelings for you make them vulnerable, because you do have that power and that hold on their heart. And I don't feel like that person, this person loves that. I feel like in their mind, they don't really trust anyone. They may have trust issues. They may have family stuff where, you know, maybe people weren't supposed to show emotion in their family or whatever. But I don't feel like they love the feeling of feeling super tied to someone and feeling vulnerable and feeling like they, you know, kind of are, I want to say a simp a little bit. Um, that's not their vibe. You know, they're not a fan of that. They're not a fan of this kind of energy for themselves. We also got, I love the way you speak. And I do feel like this person kind of looks up for you, up to you. They think of you as someone who's really kind of incredible and has accomplished a lot or done a lot. Someone that I seriously wonder if, I seriously feel like they wonder if they can measure up to you. You know, there is this sense of possible fear of being inadequate, not good enough. And I feel like the problem with this person being not super emotionally mature is when they get that negative emotion. I think one of the things you learn as you develop emotional literacy and learn to deal with your emotions, which me being a Cancer moon, I had to, is you learn to like question your feelings. Like it's okay to feel something, and your feelings are super great indicators of a situation. So it's important to listen to how your body feels, or if you are getting anxiety. But not every feeling we have to listen to 100%. Sometimes a feeling can be because of a trauma. Sometimes you're getting nervous and having a panic attack before a date, but it's because you didn't deal with the fact that you had a really toxic ex and it's reminding you of that. Sometimes it's because you're nervous because the guy's a weirdo. And that's why it's so important to like interrogate yourself and pause, sit with yourself and be like, why am I feeling this? What's going on here? Why did this come up? What am I feeling in my body? Am I feeling this because of what's coming up to me? A past trauma, childhood feeling, adult, you know, anything that happened to me as an adult, child, whatever. What is this, because of this situation, or is it because of like a past fear, a past issue? And I don't feel like this person does that. And I feel like in a way you bring up feelings of inadequacy, you bring up feelings of not being good enough, and this person just kind of shuts down. It's like I'm seeing a computer just being like forced shut down, you know, no files saved, no like logging out, just like when you press the power button and just force reset it. That's kind of what's going on. Like I feel like when things get tough, or when things get kind of twisty and intricate and difficult to figure out, this person's like, no, 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 I'm not doing this. And they kind of like run, you know, they kind of just don't want to deal with this. So yeah, I mean, it's a lot to deal with. I do feel like the feelings are there and they are very drawn to you, but I also feel like they, you know, they're going to have that realization sooner or later of what they're missing out on, and that they need to kind of confront this, because you can't run from emotions. You know, water will always get you. It's really hard to plug up water. That's why like dams are so expensive and so huge, and when they break it's like a problem. And but it is hard to figure out how to contain water. The other elements are probably a lot easier to deal with, at least like earth. Maybe fire is not so easy, but you know, air is not as easy to contain, but it's not as much of a problem, I would say, as water. But water will seep out and just go everywhere if you don't handle it, you know? And I think with this person, and fire's also hard to contain, but it's very emotional. And so yeah, I think this person, they need to like, they need to learn how to like meditate or chill or go to therapy or something. But the feelings are there. And yes, I would say they think of you, but they also very much run from their thoughts. So I would say they're actually not thinking of you that much, but it's a deliberate effort because if they think of you, they're going to kind of crumble. So yeah, I hope that resonates, guys. If it did, let me know. I always love hearing from you guys, and make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Also, if you want to see more of my readings, head to my Patreon. I just posted a reading all about how someone is feeling for you from early dating. So if you just started dating someone, it's a great one to watch, as well as what is destined to be yours in this lifetime. So if you want to watch those readings, head to my Patreon. The link is underneath the timestamps in the comments in the description. And as soon as you sign up, you'll get access to over 60 additional readings about so many different topics. And you guys also suggest and vote on new topics. So there's lots to do over on Patreon, and I'd love to have you join us over there. And if you want to sign up for a private reading with me, you can get that at my website, briarrosetarot.com. And you can sign up for a half hour or a full hour long session with me, have me pull tarot for you, read your astrology, channel for you, and you get to ask me basically whatever you want within reason, of course, but it's your time to use how you want. So you can ask me about most subjects, I would say the vast majority. But anyways, guys, if you want that, go to my website. And like I said, the link for that is in my description, briarrosetarot.com. Thank you so much for watching. I am sending you so much love and light, and I'll be back again very soon with another reading. Take care, guys. Bye. Hey, Pile 4, welcome to your reading. Let's get into your cards and see if you're on your person's mind. Let's see, what is this? Bone collector. Okay, so I would say, yes, you are on this person's minds. And bone collector is a card about memories from the past, about sometimes traumas we keep from the past. And I feel like this person may be in a process of some self-growth, and they may be thinking of you and kind of using you as motivation to actually do some self-improvement, to change themselves in a way. Maybe they are reflecting on some of the mistakes they've made or some of the things they've done wrong, and they may think of you, and you may be this kind of light at the end of the tunnel, or this little carrot at the end of a stick of like, okay, let me fix myself, let me work on this to become better. So there may be some self-awareness that they have of like, you know what, I think I really messed this up. There may be this idea of, yeah, I don't think I handled things the right way, or I should have done better. And so, yeah, it's almost like they have more self-awareness than the average person would in these situations. Well, let's get into some more cards and see what else. We got Compass. Yeah, this person could be doing some self-improvement work with the intention of getting back with you or reconnecting with you at some point. So you may, like I said, you may be their carrot at the end of the stick or light at the end of the tunnel, but compass could work as well. Kind of like how they're navigating, you know, how they're choosing to move through this world, I feel like in a way is defined by you. It could have been something like you mentioned you love a certain band, and this person finds themselves getting into that kind of music, listening to that kind of music, educating themselves on music so they can talk with you about, I don't know, indie rock because you're a big fan or something. Or maybe that, you know, you were like, well, I just really need a partner who has an amazing job and it matters a lot to me to make sure that they're financially responsible. And then this person is like trying to find ways to improve their credit score or researching ways that they can get a better job. You might not have even said this to them. This may be something they intuitively sense about you, or some idea they have of like, oh, I bet they won't date this kind of a person, so let me hit the gym, or let me get a better job, let me make more money, let me change my wardrobe, you know? So I feel like in a way, they definitely think of you and you do influence their decisions. It could even be something so small like you don't eat cheese. Maybe, you know, you are lactose intolerant or you just hate cheese, and you told them once offhandedly like, oh, I think cheese is gross and it's unhealthy or something. I would never say that. Of course, I love cheese, but I'm not hating on you, cheese. Just saying. I know there's going to be people in the comments like, who would say cheese is gross? But anyway, you know what I mean? You might have made some comment like that, and now this person, every time when they would usually buy cheese from the grocery store, they find themselves thinking of you being like, cheese is unhealthy and it's full of saturated fat or something, I don't know. Or, you know, humans shouldn't be eating cheese and I'm lactose intolerant and I don't eat cheese. And now every time they have cheese, that memory, that thought pops up in their head, the words you said. And you might not have said it, of course, to be like leave an imprint on them and like wanting them to change their behavior, but because they respect you and they put you on a pedestal, like they can't help but be influenced by you and like have their decisions change because of you. Or you might have said something like, oh, I hate when I come over to someone's apartment and it's messy, so they like start cleaning all the time, that kind of vibe. I feel like they do respect you and they do want to impress you. They have this desire to make you impressed by them and make you see, yeah, look, Golden Palace. They literally may be trying to earn more money to get with you. That may be a big thing for them, is like being more financially successful, because they might assume that that's what you deserve, or that you wouldn't settle for anything else. So I feel like in a way it's been a bit of a kick in the behind for this person of like, okay, let me get my acting gear. Let me get my act together and try to make myself better. They may literally be hitting the gym or doing something like that. But I feel like it's kind of like I want to prove to you that I am on your level, or I want to prove to you that I am good. I want you to see that I can thrive. I want you to see that I am talented. Really this desire to be in a good light in front of you and to not make a fool of themselves. And they may kind of like, again, I feel like a lot of it is because they think of you as someone who's really cool. They do respect your decisions. They respect how you've lived your life, how you've handled yourself, the decisions and choices you've made, the people you surround yourself with, all of it. I feel like they have a lot of respect for you as a person. They think of you as a really kind of talented, cool, special, unique kind of person. And I feel like for them, the idea of you being like unimpressed with them is enough fuel for them to like wake up early in the morning to go hit the gym, or for them to start sending out their resume on LinkedIn. It's definitely a little bit of fuel they use when they may feel unmotivated or be like, oh, I don't feel like doing this. Oh yeah, I remember what pile 4 said, so let me get up and start doing push-ups. Or just you didn't say it, but they're like, I bet they're probably dating really cute guys with muscles, so I need to get some muscles, or something like that. I feel like they did try to play it cool in front of you, but they definitely would think a lot about things that would impress you, things that they could do to make you smile, or things they could do to, be in a good light in front of you. They may have literally like changed their hair or tweaked their style, or if you mentioned you liked a certain band, next thing you know, they're like, hey, by the way, my favorite album is blah, blah, blah by that band. So yeah, I listen to it all the time. I literally have listened to it for years. And that's just something they said because they wanted to impress you. It's like they were always looking for ways to kind of show off in front of you, or show you how great they were. So they may literally be also doing home improvements, because we got 2 cards about that. So they may have moved apartments into a bigger, nicer apartment with the idea that like one day I hope pile number 4 will come over and I can cook for them in this really nice kitchen, and they can see that I have like marble countertops, or they can see that I have a 2-bedroom, or they can see that like I have really nice sheets on my bed, not those rumpled, wrinkled old sheets I used to have that were just like the cheap set that I bought for, $10. They may literally be doing like home improvement and trying to get themselves in a better position, and they may literally fantasize about what it would be like if you came over, what you would think of their apartment, what you would think of their setup, whether you would, whether they would cook for you, or maybe they had roommates and now they want to move into their own apartment, and that may be a big goal for them, or something they think about with you all the time is like getting enough to impress you. Let me get into some song cards for pile number 4. We want to know, what if pile 4's person is thinking of them, Spirit? Is pile 4's person thinking of them? So we got Ivy by Taylor Swift. I love that song. Maybe my favorite Taylor Swift song. And I love the lyrics where she says, your ivy grows and now I'm covered. So I feel like it really describes well how you're like getting the kind of that process of falling in love. I think it was John Green who said, that also iconic quote, which is like, I fell in love the way you fall asleep, slowly and then all at once. And both of them kind of sum up that vibe that I think happens with love, where like you're getting to know someone, you kind of know you like them, you're catching feelings, you're like, I definitely have a crush. But then next thing you know, you're like, wait a minute, I'm in love. Like I'm obsessed with this person. I can't stop thinking of them. And it kind of sneaks up on you, right? Like it's not, I mean, I've always fallen in love at first sight, but I've always also been in like denial about it. And you just find yourself thinking of that person more and more and more and being like, I wonder what they're up to now. What are they doing? What are their interests? And then you're like, okay, I'm a stalker. And then you kind of realize like, oh no, I'm just in love. Okay, that's what's going on. And I think that may have happened with you, is like they were infatuated with you. They started to like you. They started to think of you a lot. We got Never Gonna Give You Up, the Black Keys. And then next thing they know, they're like, oh my God, I'm covered in this. I'm covered in this ivy, and I can't get my mind off them. We got Just Say Yes, Snow Patrol. And it's funny, I was talking about like indie rock and impressing you with music, because we got a lot of these like rock bands. I don't know if they're indie rock, but they're kind of that genre. Then we got Harvest Moon, Neil Young. So again, a lot of kind of like cool musical acts. And I wouldn't be surprised if this person does try to impress you, or like if you're like, what's your favorite movie? They try to think of like some German film from the 80s to show off how, how sophisticated they are, instead of just telling you like, oh, I love the Avengers, or I love you know Legally Blonde or something like that. That would be not my choice, but I do like that movie. But we got, yeah, Just Say Yes, Never Gonna Give You Up. So honestly, I feel like you're still not off their mind. They still do think of you quite a lot, quite frequently. And it's almost like, also I'm getting with that song, Never Gonna Give Up on You, And I feel like it's like, I'm also hearing it's not over till it's over. And so if there has been a lull in contact or messages or outreach or conversation between you guys, then I do feel like this person still has that intention that one day you guys will be able to resume things, pick things back up. And I feel like a lot of this is why this person sets these goals of like, okay, I'm going to achieve this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to show up with my new car, and they're going to think it's amazing, and then they're going to want to go with me, and they're going to see my new job, and they're going to think I'm ballin', and then they're going to really be wanting to hang out. So I feel like they definitely set these goals, and a lot of it has to do, or is very centered around you, impressing you, even from the music they listen to, the clothes they wear, the hair they have, all of that really goes back to you and things that they think will impress you. We got lies as well, Marina and the Diamond. If they did lie to you, I do feel like this person regrets that. And they may have been lying, not to excuse lying. I know, of course, lying is bad always, but they may have been lying from a place of, feeling not good enough, feeling like they needed to impress you or show off to you, feeling like they weren't good enough as they were. So again, not to excuse it, of course, lying is always bad and we should be honest, but sometimes I think it doesn't come from a deliberately like, oh, let me deceive this person type place. It comes from a place of like, I don't think I'm good enough for them, and I wish I was, and I have them up on a pedestal and they're so amazing, and how can I compare? So yeah, I'm just gonna shuffle these cards really quick. Okay, so I fast forwarded through all the shuffling. Noise, you guys don't have to hear it. But anyway, let's get some cards for pile number 4. Are they thinking of pile 4? Is pile 4's person thinking of them? We got the 7 of Pentacles. So again, this person is putting in the work. They may literally be working really hard in their workplace or at school or whatever, trying to impress you, hitting the gym, doing something like that. That literally would be like physical work, or, desk work, or literally work to impress you in some way. I do feel like they're trying to make changes to themselves because they may not feel like they're good enough as they are. Meeting with you, I think sometimes it's like, how maybe you're like really comfortable in your apartment or your house, but then someone is like, oh, by the way, I want to visit you, like, let me drop in on Tuesday. And suddenly, if you think that person is really amazing and you want to impress them, you're going to look around and be like, oh my God, my kitchen's a mess. My living room, that couch is super old. I need to get a nicer couch, or I need to clean it. I don't have any kind of paintings hanging over my fireplace. It's just this weird blank space. I need to go buy a painting. And suddenly you're like taking stock of everything in a new way. You're seeing it with new eyes, and you're seeing it a lot harsher. And it's only with someone you respect. Of course, if it was like a person you just didn't care about, you'd be like, yeah, come over whenever. I don't care. You can see, yeah, the kitchen's a mess, whatevs. But when it's someone that you want to impress, you're gonna like be running around a little panicking, and probably like deep cleaning things, scrubbing the floorboards, or doing whatever you can to make sure it's absolutely perfect. And I definitely feel like that's the vibe that this person had, is like they were worried about you kind of seeing a lot of their issues, or seeing them as very imperfect. So it has made them really take stock of themselves and look at themselves through a very harsh light, and want to like alter a lot, change a lot, and do things to get on your good side. Let me get some more cards for pile number 3. We got the 5 of Wands. Okay. This person may also be worried or feel in competition with other people that you're dating, or with perceived romantic rivals. So they may have this idea that you are dating around, or you have a lot of romantic opportunities, or that you have people who want to date you. And that may be something that really stresses this person out. This idea that, pile 4 has all these options, or pile 4 is very high in demand. All these people want to be with pile 4, and I don't know if I can measure up. So if you have someone that you like post on your Instagram, or someone else that you were seeing romantically, that may really bother this person. And it may be a reason why they have gone to such efforts to kind of change and improve themselves. Even if you haven't posted this person, or you're not dating around, they may just assume that you're the kind of person who would, that you have a lot of options, that you have a lot of romantic opportunities, and a lot of people who would want to date you. And it may be that motivator that they need, like I said, when they wake up late and they just want to sleep in, to go hit the gym, or go, have their protein shake, and whatever they're doing to do that self-improvement, to kind of force them to actually do that, and to do the hard work that's involved in that. I do feel like it bothers them, the idea of you dating someone else. And that's something they may think about, is like, what if I'm improving myself, and in the meantime they start dating someone else, they start up with someone else. Even if for some of you guys, I could see you being in a current relationship with this person, and maybe, if you are dating them, that may be something that they worry about, is you meeting someone else, hitting off with them. Or even this could be why they're stressing so much about their home. Like, what if they meet someone who lives in like this amazing high-rise lavish apartment? Here I am in a freaking tiny studio, or living with roommates, and like, they're going to leave me for that person so fast, or me in my dinky little car that's super old, and, is just not a cool car in any way. I don't know anything about cars to insult it on any specific level. And then they date someone with a Maserati, because they feel like you're that level, that you could attract that kind of person. They feel like they really need to bring their A game in order to be with you, because if they don't bring their A game, someone else will. That you're just going to have a plethora of different romantic options, and they just don't really feel good enough for you, and they don't really know why you would be with them, over anyone else. So I feel like, in a way, this person imagines these scenarios, or comes up with these ideas in their head about, you meeting someone and leaving them, or, being impressed by this person. And it's definitely something that irritates them. It's definitely something that bothers them. Let me get a couple more tarot cards for pile number 4. We got the Death card, and we got the Chariot card. So I feel like this person, Death card is also about transformation, and about really ending one era of your life to enter into another. And the Chariot is about moving ahead strongly. So it almost feels like this person is ready to leave this old part of them behind, and they're not even feeling like lukewarm about it or wishy-washy or kind of tempted to stay in their old energy. They're like, I'll do whatever it takes. I want to change. I want to improve myself. I want to be able to be good enough to get with someone like pile 4. And I feel like they are ready to like embrace whatever they have to do to be able to get with you. So, I feel like it's almost like they're asking for time now. They're asking for like a little bit of a pause. They're kind of like, listen, I know I may be having to improve myself right now, but please don't move on and start dating someone else. Please give me a little bit more time. Please just be a little more patient with me, because I don't want you to just move on and be with someone else while I'm doing this self work. Like, kind of like, trust me, just give me a little time and you'll like the results. You'll like what you see at the end, but it's just not ready yet. It's not ready to come out of the oven. It's baking, it's in the moment, it's processing, it's buffering. It's not done yet, but it will be. And I promise you're going to love it. I feel like that's kind of what this person is saying. They do want you to be a little bit patient with them and give them a little time. And then I feel like they're really hopeful that they can reconnect with you later. So some of you guys might be like, dude, I'm not waiting around for you. Like, come on. I'm not just sitting by, idly waiting for you to step back into my life. But I feel like, this person's kind of like, please be patient because I am doing this stuff for you. So let's get some message cards for pile number 4 from their person. So we got, I know you've been hurt in the past. Being with you feels fresh and new. Let me pull with my left hand. You're my favorite person. Let me also get this card. This message says, I think about you all the time. So that answers our question, right? Thank you for that perfect little answer, pile 4's person. Definite yes on the original question. And then this one was folded over. Let me unfurl it. I love our serious discussions. So if you've been having serious discussions with this person, I think that they really love that. Your body is incredible. And with the serious discussions card, I feel that, there is a serious vibe to this person. I like that they're kind of like not fooling around. They seem to me to be a more serious personality. And if they're not a serious personality, then it's just something about you that makes them feel like being serious, that makes them want to like really take a look at things and buckle down and, really take things on and not being goofy or like lighthearted about it, but like, I am determined. So I feel like you bring out a more serious side of them than maybe they've been with other people. A side of them that's like, no, I am committed. I'm 100% in this and I'm not afraid to take it on. So how they act about you around you may be more serious than they are with other people. It may be that you've been that impetus in their life that really has made them want to like change. If they're a guy, grow into a man, like a real man. Or if they're a girl, maybe grow into a woman somehow. But yeah, I think with them, it's like you've made them ask a lot of hard questions, but the good thing is they're not running from it. They're not resentful of you. They're like, I want to do this. I want to take this on. I'm willing to make these changes. I know I need to make these changes. I want to improve myself. And I'm not afraid to do that. I'm not going to run away from my obligations or from the hard truths that are staring me in the mirror. But I definitely feel like they think about you. And like I said, it's something that has really, I think, influenced their life. I think what they're just asking for is a little bit more time so that you don't move on in the meantime. That would be like their worst case scenario, is if you were like dating someone else while they're still in the process of changing. But I would personally, as a tarot reader, never indicate to someone that they should wait, because we cannot control anyone else's free will. That just is not allowed. I mean, if you try to do it, it's bad karma anyway. Like if you do it with like black magic or something. But yeah, I think in general, it's so much better to focus on your own path, your own life, what feels good to you. And then if you guys are supposed to align, then allowing that to flow. But I would never say like, okay, so hold on and wait for this person, because who knows? They could have this intention now and then later change their mind, or later get distracted, or just there could be situational stuff that keeps you separate. So I say enjoy your life, live your life. Pile 4, I am not signing off on what they're asking and being like, hey, don't date me one until pile 4 is done working out and they like their body, because of course that's very much out of your control. Who knows if they'll ever work up the courage. But I do feel like that's just their perspective, that's what they're asking for. Of course, you definitely don't have to listen, pile 4. I think generally speaking, your guides, they want you to live your best life. They want you to do things that make you feel happy and focus on your own growth. So I'm just relaying the message. But yeah, I think they do think of you quite a lot and they would like to be with you. I think they're just feeling like they need to tweak some things about themselves before they're fully ready for that. So yeah, I think that's what I have for you guys. Pile 4, I really hope it resonated. Let me know if it did in the comments. I love hearing from you guys. Love hearing your thoughts, stories, all of it. Also, make sure to give this reading a thumbs up, hit the like button, and make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. And if you want to see more of my content, then head to my Patreon. I just posted one all about an early dating, early love reading. So it's great for someone you just started seeing. And then I also posted one all about what you're destined to have in this lifetime. So what is meant for you to have in this lifetime. As soon as you sign up for my Patreon, though, you'll get access to over 60 additional readings. There's all kinds of readings over there about love, money, career, spirituality, every topic under the sun. And you guys suggest and vote for new topics. So you get to decide what we kind of talk about over there. So if you'd like to sign up, head to my Patreon link underneath the timestamps in the comments in the description, and I would love to see you there. And if you want to get a private one-on-one reading with me, you can also get that at my website, briarrosetarot.com, and you can sign up for a half hour or a full hour-long session with me, have me pull tarot for you, read your astrology, channel for you, and you get to kind of choose what we talk about. So most topics are perfectly fine to ask about, and it's your time to really ask what you want, again within reason. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. Oh, and like I was saying, if you wanted to book a session with me, go to my website, briarrosetarot.com, and the link is in my description for that. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I am sending you so much love and light, and I'll be back again very soon with another reading. Take care, guys, and I'll see you then. Bye.